8 years has passed since Kilmarnock last experienced a sweet taste of success in winning the Scottish Cup.
And Kilmarnock take the trophy for the first time in 68 years.
The club could be celebrating another successful cup run this season under the leadership of Jim Jeffries, who has been there before with tonight's opponents, Hearts. Last time around, Jeffries returned to Tynecastle and against the odds orchestrated a dramatic draw for Killie.
It's in! And it's an equaliser. Oh, yes! Oh, that's brilliant!
Tonight, Jeffries takes on one of his old lieutenants, John Robertson, with a place in the quarter-finals up for grabs. It's the Scottish Cup, it's Rugby Park Kilmarnock, and it's the fourth round replay between Kilmarnock and Hearts.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We'll be very much one at a time out of this tunnel. A favourable quarter-final tie awaits the winners at home to struggling Livingston. Before they know it, Kilmarnock or Hearts could find themselves in the semi-finals of this illustrious competition. Although Livingston might have something to say about that yet. Kilmarnock haven't beaten Hearts yet this season. In their 5 previous meetings, they'll be hoping tonight's the night at Rugby Park. They came from behind twice in the first game at Tynecastle. 18-year-old Stevie Naismith forced this replay with a last-minute equaliser. A fine time to score his first senior goal. Dennis Wyness also scored in that game, and he certainly can't argue with his Scottish Cup pedigree. He was twice in an Inverness Cally Thistle team that knocked Celtic out of this competition. Well, Jim Jeffries steered Hearts to the Scottish Cup in 1998. And he's Hearts through and through, really, but now in charge of Kilmarnock after a spell down south at Bradford City. When Hearts won the Scottish Cup, John Robertson was on the bench. He's now the manager of Hearts. We will get a winner tonight, any which way we can. 90 minutes, 120 minutes, penalties. What do you reckon? Let's find out what Kilmarnock and Hearts reckon. They are the last 2 winners of the Scottish Cup outside of the old firm. Kilmarnock did it in 1997, Hearts did it in 1998, and immediately there's a late challenge on Robbie Neilson.
Yeah, it was Chris Boyd who came in late there as Robbie Neilson was about to clear the ball. We see this so often, forward just leaving his studs in. For Nielsen's follow through to come up and catch his studs. Boyd, well, always late there, and it's such a common foul. But already you can see the Hearts system. It's Lee Miller up on his own. Wyness is dropping off between middle and front and picking up a lot of good ball in that area.
Well, Lee Wallace is being allowed to go a long, long way here. And he's gone for the 1-2. He's in to fire Hearts into an early lead. Kilmarnock will be kicking themselves that they just let him go, but it's a very special moment for 17-year-old Lee Wallace.
Well, it's a terrific goal from young Wallace, but Jim Jeffries will be absolutely raging here. He's off his midfield player. Look at Ford. Ford doesn't tuck in. Fontaine can't get across. And for me, I think Alan Combe makes up his mind for him. I think Alan Combe, if he stays up, makes it a lot more difficult. He's on his backside by the time the ball passes him. But what a wonderfully composed finish from young Lee Wallace.
Well, it's only his 3rd appearance for Hearts, and all 3 of them have been against Kilmarnock. 2 in the Cup, 1 in the league. Amongst those watching tonight at Rugby Park, it's Scotland's management team of Walter Smith and Tommy Burns. Big game coming up for them at the end of March, of course, in Italy. Flags up.
That was a late one. Kind of one that Invincible's mystified by. How high Hearts are up a good line. The timing was right. I think Invincible's coming back from an offside position.
John Rowbottom made the advantage then after the first foul on Česnauskas, but he couldn't do after the second foul on Wyness. Scotland's answer to Pierluigi Collina was in charge of the first game between these teams and got a bit of criticism from John Robertson, the Hearts coach.
They've got to try and hold the 18-yard line here. They don't want to end up too deep because Hartley delivers so well. He'll whip one in here, is likely to. There's no lack of pace on it.
Hearts does just that, and oh, it's Lee Miller's header! He steered it in. What a storming start for Hearts in this cup tie. They are 2-0 up inside 13 minutes.
Well, the annoying thing for Jim Jeffries is that it's Simon Fortier who gets the head on it as it comes in. It's Fortier who gets a nick on it, but there's no conviction about the clearance. Falls into a perfect area for Miller. Back across the goalkeeper. How many times do we say it? And Alan Combe probably caught with his weight on his right side. Can't get anywhere near it.
To make sure that he only played 45 minutes of that reserve game, but that's the only football he's had in a couple of months. Sure we'll see him at some stage, but it might be a bit early for him at the moment. Needs must though for Kilmarnock as they look to haul themselves back into contention as they look to stay in the Scottish Cup. Mikalunas. Oh, he sends it across here for Česnauskas. It's 3-0 and Davidas Česnauskas has scored on his debut and Hearts are in a hurry to reach the quarter-finals.
The two players that sum up the difference between the sides tonight in real cutting edge down either side for Hearts tonight. Miller did well, good control. Mikalunas across the face of goal and Česnauskas who's drifted in from the left-hand side as he's done most of the evening. When the play's on this side, he's been attacking that front post. Good first touch, and although it comes off Combs' right foot, it's not enough. You'd have to be a real optimist now to see any way back at all for Killie.
Just a minute to go. On by Invincible, away by Nilsson. Leven. Wallace took it away from the incoming Alan Johnston. Oh, penalty given. Lee Wallace on Alan Johnston.
Just missed time to his body shot here. I think the tackle he should have made with his right foot. An awkward angle. Clumsy one with his left foot.
Too little, too late for Kilmarnock if it goes in from Chris Boyd. If only it could have happened earlier for Kilmarnock. It's Chris Boyd. It's a poor penalty. They do have something to show for tonight, but they are heading out of the Scottish Cup all the same, and in fact that's it. That's the last kick. Kilmarnock get one back, but Hearts thoroughly deserving a quarter-final home tie with Livingston, where John Robertson once worked. They were good tonight. Kilmarnock's injuries caught up with them, and they never really got in on the act. John Robertson, Hearts through and through, scored 214 goals for them as a player. What would it mean to him to lead them out in a Scottish Cup final? Lee Wallace, just 17 years of age, scored his first senior goal in his third match to put them in front. Lee Miller quickly added a second. They were 2 up inside 13 minutes, and the man of the match, Česnauskas, capped it all off. Hearts cruising through to the last 8 of this illustrious competition. It finishes at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock 0, Hearts 3.